What's cracking, everybody? New video. This is the third video that I'm trying to upload today. Um, one was a portion of last night's live where ODM from Lighter Shade of Brown joined us. A second video I did talking about some things that are going on in my life right now. Both of those videos, YouTube has found that they are not advertiser friendly. So here I am with the third video today. I've been asked a lot what was going through my head when I went to prison, when I got sent to prison initially. And honestly, for the most part, I don't remember. What I do have in mind when I think about that is a sad thing, is I know I was never afraid to go to a jail. When I left the county jail and I went to Wasco, it was just like, it was nothing. I was a youngster who had done YA time. I was a knucklehead. And so to me, it was like, okay, going to the joint, how long until I get into something with somebody or something happens where, that was the thing, that was the excitement of proving myself in the big house with the big boys. I remember that. But as far as like me thinking, like I knew in my heart, you guys have to remember, I caught my life sentence in 1994. I got busted in 1993. I caught my life sentence in 1994. We had a governor, Governor Gray Davis, who had said and made it perfectly clear, the only way somebody with, I can see the guidelines are, so I can't even say, you guys know what I went to prison for. Somebody lost their life. I took someone's life. And so what he said was in another way, but he said someone who takes someone's life, the only way that they ever going to get out of prison is in a box. So we knew that we would never get out. Everybody knew that. If you had a life sentence in California, you knew you are never going to get out. You are going to pass away on the yard or in the cell, the chow hall, whatever. But it's going to be during your confinement. It will never be in the free world. Couple that with the fact that back then, you didn't have trades. You didn't have any rehabilitation efforts. You also didn't really have, at least in New Folsom, you didn't really have limits to how many dudes could be on the yard. Now, they could say, oh, we only let out this, like on odd days, they would let all the odd number blocks, I think, in the afternoon. And they would rotate like even, anyways, but New Folsom, you could get out of your cell pretty much anytime you want. If yard was running, you could pretty much get out of your cell and get out there. And so you had yards that were overcrowded. Nobody had any problems getting off, doing whatever they had to do because they knew they were never going to go home. There was no hope. It was just anger. It was frustration. It was hopelessness. Those are the things that I remember when I first went to prison. I only remember one guy. I'm not going to say his name. I remember one guy, and he was the only guy that I met that was actually trying to fight his case. He was a youngster like me. We got along real good. I used to kick it with him every day. And he was innocent of his crime. He had got away with shooting a cop. And the cops set him up on a hot one, right? On a 187. And his homeboy that actually committed the 187 took the stand and said, look, it wasn't him, it was me. But because of the shooting he got away with against cop, they wanted him. And I remember I used to tell him, man, forget about that case. Because that's the mindset you get in there. I was like, man, forget about that case, man. We're in here. We're done. We're never getting out. Pay attention to what's going on around us, because I really like the dude, man. Like I said, every yard day, I would kick it with that guy. And I remember one day he asked me, he goes, hey, did they get at you? And I was like, who? He goes, did they ask you if you were willing to do do something around here? And I go, yeah, they ask everybody that. And he goes, yeah, they asked me today. And I go, what'd you tell them? He goes, I told him, hey, Holmes, look, I'm trying to fight my case. I mind my own business. I was like, oh, man, I go, what are you doing, Holmes? I go back over there and tell him, yeah, I'll take care of it. I go, I'll go with you, homie. You're my friend, eh? If they ask you to do something, I'll go with you. And he worked in the kitchen. And one of his coworkers was having sex with the CO that worked in the kitchen, right? And the guy that was having sex with her winds up hitting her, beating her up. And this was the second time he did it. He gave her a black eye. The first time he did it, I guess the COs were like, hey, what happened to your eye? And she was like, I came in like that. They were like, no, I don't think you did. She was like, I did. So they didn't know. So they let her go, but they kept their eyes on her. So when that dude smacked her again and gave her a mark on her face, they told her, we've been watching you since the last time. We know you didn't have that when you came in this morning. What happened? And that chick, she was so ugly, man. And she told the cops, look, I got raped, but I'm not going to say who did it. They took the whole kitchen crew. And my buddy, that innocent kid, we were 19 at the time. We're 20 at the time. He got snatched up too. And I don't remember if it was in AdSeg or I know they sent him to C facility. We were on B facility at the time. But something happened where they asked him to do something and he said no. And he ruined his career. It was over for him. That was his decision and he had to live with that. But, I remember things like that about when I first came in. I wish I could say like, I was afraid and that it was overwhelming, but it was actually like, unfortunately, the person that I was, it was exciting to me and I felt like I was in my element. Think about that, man. Think about how crazy that is that you had kids, man, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, that were getting put in prison for the rest of their lives and didn't blink. We didn't even trip. We were like, where's my cell at? We were like, I got to get my hands on a piece. Some were like, I want to get high. Others, I want to drink. But it was never, maybe within themselves, it was never voiced, damn, I hate it, man. I want to go home. Those kind of conversations weren't even had, except with that one dude. I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't know if he went home. I don't know if he beat his case. But I know he's not the only one that I met in prison that was innocent of their crime. But he's the only one I saw do that. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling today. If I get to put out that other video, you guys will understand. Like, I'm not feeling myself right now. But I know you guys got my back. I know you guys enjoy the content. And so I'm putting out content every day, regardless of what's going on. Things are going to be better. Things are going to get better. We just have to stay focused in our mind and keep our eyes on what's important and what's not. So everybody stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.